morning, everybody. Woo! Man. Welcome back to the Journey to Greatness with David McDonald, the GOAT. Day 178 to 365. Good morning, Brandon. How's it going? Good morning, Liz. How's it going? Pardon me, man. Woo! Today. Alrighty. I'll see you guys on the other side. All righty, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. I need to go blow my nose. We just finished our meditation routine, and then we're gonna get into our reading routine here. So I'll see you guys on the other side. And good morning, Auntie. Good morning, Arrow. What's up, cuz? How's it going? Oscar, good morning. Good morning. Bella Trend, what's up? All right, guys. That's very interesting. Never heard of that. Hmm. Jeez, that's powerful. Interesting. This book is very, very interesting. Alrighty, so we'll come back to this. Hey guys, we're almost halfway through the book. How exciting! Then we get to our new book. All right, so we have we just finished our reading routine, which was pretty good today. I got some good content that I can share briefly, and now we're getting into our journaling routine. Today's day 158 of our journaling routine, which is pretty amazing. We've gotten through more than half of this journal already, and then we're going to be moving to our next journal, which is awesome. So in the journaling exercises, if you're joining us for the first time, hey Braxton, good morning, good morning. Thanks, brother. Love you, man. Have a good day today. Thanks for logging on. Brandon, good morning. We have, so I usually focus on writing about what I'm most grateful for. And in the morning, that's waking up and being in exceptional health. So that's always exciting. And I'm grateful for that. And then I go back to yesterday's activities and then I write about what I'm grateful for and like the things that I experienced, whether negative or positive. I guess I look at everything kind of being positive, even when it's not so bright. But if it was an energy that, I won't ever welcome again or want to see again, then I just go back and just show my gratitude, what I learned from it, and then going forward, what I wish to manifest, whether it's today or tomorrow, etc. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you on the other side. Good morning, Uncle. Uncle Roland, good morning. Alrighty. Sorry, guys. I've had the sniffles for like 3 or 4 days now, but that's all right. I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Amy, good morning. Good morning. Happy day. Happy day. Mary Espinoza, I see you. I just want to say thank you to God. Like, for real. You know, we go through so many things, and and the universe, we go through so many things in life, and I think, you know, like, we go through hard things in life, you know, and when I think about all the different ways to handle it, you know, to come to a place where, like, people go to extreme measures to handle stress. They go to extreme measures to handle things that are challenging them in their lives. They go through extreme challenges, and they go to extreme measures, you know, for not having a lot of people in their life, or, you know, nobody really truly understanding them, you know. And I think that I'm just thankful, man. I'm just thankful because, I don't know. It's just something small, I guess, but the feeling of being grateful for just being here, you know, is something that makes me happy. So I just figured I'd mention that. So the book starts off this portion of the chapter in a very fire way. Stop waiting to be taught something you already know. How many millions of diet and exercise books are sold every year? I promise you, every single person who picks up one of those books already knows the answer. Eat healthier and move your body. You can eat those. You can eat these calories or those calories. You can move this way or that way, but the result is the same. And you already know that. You bought the book already knowing what you had to do. You were just waiting for someone to tell you again. Now, man, my nose. Hold on, guys. Okay. Okay, so the way I immediately interpret that message, stop waiting to be taught something you already know. I don't have to tell you. I like this. I like that one sentence, and then the diet thing is true too. But I don't think we're waiting to be taught something that we don't know when we go into these sessions, right? I'm telling everyone this. You guys are the greatest of all time. So know that as we continue to move forward, right? So just continue to remind yourself of that, I would say. So I'm not telling you to stop searching for answers, but learn about yourself and then trust what you know so you can build on what you already have. That sounds familiar. It's not a science. Instinct is the opposite of science. Research tells you what others have learned. Instincts tells you what you have learned. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. It's not science. Instincts is the opposite of science. Research tells you what others have learned. Instinct tells you what you have learned. Now, I would run both of those ideas parallel. Our experience through life allows us to it's pretty much our own self-experiment, right? It's our own our own self-instinct. We go through life based off of these instincts, right? But then on the flip side, we're able to also, read books like Think and Grow Rich or The 4 Disciplines of Execution and be held grounded and anchored into philosophy. I'm a huge fan of philosophy and history. And so if we run our personal lives, right, our personal lives will be shaped and cultured by the information and material we are feeding into ourselves based off of somebody else's research. So that's fair. But then from our life experiences, we take all of that information and it helps us as we move through this world as we are, and we show up as we are, which is perfect. Then those life experiences, that information that we're feeding into ourselves, helps us to respond in a different way as we move as we are through the world. And that's, I would run both of those ideas parallel. So science studies other people's. Instinct is all about you. So I think being in unison with yourself and sharpening yourself and going through activities like journaling, figuring out, who you are, what gets you going, what your motivations are, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this is probably the most awkward place in the book that I've read so far. Like the most awkward. People don't change. All right? Huh? I don't know if I believe that. You can make millions of dollars or lose millions of dollars. You can get a promotion or lose your job, gain 40 pounds or lose 40 pounds, but you're still the same person. Huh? Exactly the same. You can change environments and spouses and careers. You're still the same person. No matter what you try, it's a temporary deal. Sooner or later, you're going to go back to your natural self. Can anybody else answer that or give opinion on that? Because I have no idea if that's a true fact. If anybody wants to jump on the messenger board in the next 30 seconds and maybe help me with understanding if you've been here or if you just have something that comes up, because I don't get it. People don't change. You can make millions of dollars or lose millions of dollars. You can get a promotion or lose your job, gain 40 pounds or lose 40 pounds. But you're still the same person, exactly the same. You change environments and spouses and careers. You're still the same person. No matter what you try, it's a temporary deal. Sooner or later, you're going to go back to your natural self. If anybody can answer that, I would more than welcome with open ears. Good morning, Mr. Hopkins. Good morning. How's it going? Yeah, so if anybody wants to jump on the messenger board and give their idea of that, I personally feel like we change every single nanosecond. Every second we are a different person, because I'm not the same person that I was when I woke up today at 4:45. So we'll press on from there, unless he's talking about something else. So let me not take this out of context. He so the continuing sentence says here, remembered my undelivered note to Dwayne Wade, that is. In order to have what you really want, you must first be who you really are. That's a cleaner. For everybody just joining us, a cleaner is a person who has a high goal, achieves their high goal, and then they push themselves to go to even higher length. That's a cleaner. When you look inside, you see what's real. When you look on the outside, you can only see images of what people want you to see. A manipulated picture of truth. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to just let go of all external pressure and expectations and just be yourself? So I think, okay, yes. Thanks, Joshua. Let's see what you got. Okay, said that who you are, you have been created to be, your identity will not change. Your characteristics, influences, communities will change. I can see some truth in that statement, but it might be that's fair. That's fair. And I think, yeah, I think that's an interesting discussion. If you're gonna be Joshua, if you're gonna be at this weekend, I think that's a good question to talk about in the mastermind session. Because I agree, it might be an overstatement. Because then it says, just be who you are, external pressures. The reason why we do the journey to greatness so raw, like I'm in sweats right now, it's kind of unbelievable to me because, when I show up to the world, I usually show up, perfect. Like in the sense of like, I always want to be presentable. I always want to be in a suit or like, just presentable. Like, and I am presentable in my sweats and I am human too, right? I don't sleep in a suit. I don't sleep in, like dress socks and dress shirts. And so I feel like I let go. I let go. And when I started this, I said I want it to be raw. I want it to be real. I want people to feel and get to know me as a person, know where my mindset is at. And then together, we can, link up. I can learn who other people are, and then we can grow together through this journey. And I think, as he says, ask yourself, what would it feel like to just let go of all external pressure and expectations and just be yourself? It's like, yeah, like I love wearing basketball shorts and sweats or, just white T-shirts around the house. Like, so anyway, so so that's a big fusion, mixed pot of fusion greatness. So, that's good. I know you're thinking it's not easy. Well, it doesn't have to be easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. Lots of people start things. Few people are able to finish. This is a huge encouragement because sometimes, like today, I was like, holy smokes, I really want to sleep in a little bit more. I don't want to sleep in. I don't even want to wake up. And I got up, and the one thing that's on my mind, and this is what's so, oh my goodness, it just hit me so hard just now. The 4 Disciplines of Execution, this book that we read a couple months ago, it says that you have to have a scoreboard. And so the reason why we changed is I started putting day 178 of 365 into the default messenger board was because it's encouraging for us to see our progress. Like we see our progress with ourselves, right? But that's our scoreboard right there. So I implemented that little change, right, just into this. And now it's like, oh, day 60, we're only 2 days away. Or we're day 60, day 6 months, 180. We're only 2 days away. And so that's encouragement for me to say, okay, well, hey, man, you got 365 days. You got to just keep going. Wake up, wake up. Why? So it says lots of people start things, few are able to finish. Why? They don't trust themselves to get to the end. I'm not going to lie. One of my really, really good brethren, he's loading and uploading YouTube videos and are helping us with the journey to greatness, right, on that front. And the videos are getting uploaded on YouTube as we speak, but I have to go back and add titles. And so we're going to catch up. So there's not going to be any sleeping. Like anyway. I know that doesn't make any sense at all, but I'm just laughing inside because I trust myself, but there's times where I'm like, dude, what if you don't get up, But I get up inevitably every day. So anyways, they start thinking about wow, talk about self-checking. That's funny. They start thinking about everything that could go wrong. Second guessing their choices, listening to others instead of listening to themselves. Anyone can have a great idea. It's what you do with the thought that defines you. Now it's going to talk about closers, and cleaners. And it's going to say the different ways that they would respond to certain situations. In a cooler, an idea will travel from his brain or her brain to his mouth. He has to talk about it, discuss it, share it with others for feedback and approval. In a closer, it travels farther down toward his gut, but then instead it diverts toward his heart, where it becomes slowed down by emotion and more thought. In a cleaner, though, a thought moves straight to his gut, where instinct takes over and puts it into immediate action. That's the ultimate difference between a closer and a cleaner, by the way. A closer thinks about what he wants, and a cleaner feels it. A closer tells his heart what he wants the outcome to be. A cleaner A cleaner's heart decides on its own. He never has to think about it. Total confidence in his gut. The difference is the millisecond of pause. I like that. Between thinking, I can do this, and not having to think anything at all. Now, the transition is interesting, okay? From going from being a cooler and transitioning into being a cleaner, that transition is it's a good one. It's an interesting one. And I say that because as you start to readjust the people that are around you, and the chess pieces on the board start to arrange themselves, right? For better or for worse, there's no definition for it. When you change your lifestyle and you change your direction and your goals, and everything becomes magnified, you don't have to do anything. Pause. I realized that I had to change everything about myself in the sense of routine, right? Getting up, easy example is getting up early in the morning. I can't go out and party. Like, I can't. I can go out every now and again, but there is a stated limit. Like, I cannot get past a certain point, or I will not make it to my journey to greatness in the morning. And I can't afford to do that. So I had to change everything about myself in that regard. That means I'm not able to go out and kick it or hang out with people as I used to. I'm not late at night, right? It's like everything has to happen in an earlier time. And I've said this before in the beginning. If I drink, or if I have a drink or a cocktail or whatever it is, it's earlier in the afternoon or in the evening, right? Early evening, more so for like happy hour, right? Even that, I don't get into that stuff too much because I'm working from 5 until 8 o'clock. Not saying that happy hour isn't work, but the transition, what I'm getting to here is, as you change the circle around you, or keep the circle, and you just change your dynamic, right? Then you instinctively, yes, for me, it was more so like, who are you going to confide in? Like, even today, people that I talk to, that I'm involved with, some of them, when I tell them my dream or what I want to do, they're like, wow, that's really ambitious. Again, there's other people in my life that are like, no question, you got it, right? And we support you, like, legitimately and authentically. We support you, and we know that you're gonna do it, right? That feeling that you get when you first transition into finding those people that are going to give you that love and support constantly, you instinctively start trusting your gut more, because now you're looking around. Your significant other might even tell you it's not a good idea, but instinctively and in your gut, you're like, I have to do this. If I don't do this, then if I don't do this right now, then that opportunity will be lost. And that opportunity aligns with what I want or what we're trying to build. So sometimes other people can't see the vision right away. And then sometimes, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So long as they're not negating you and chopping you down at your knees, and saying, oh no, this is a totally bad idea. This is not good. This is not this. This is not that, So long as they're not doing that, and they're just playing that support role and allowing you to learn and self-correct as you move through that decision or taking that opportunity, whichever way you decide to go, right? You start to instinctively shoot that energy goes from right here to your gut. You trust it. And so there is no going to your heart. There's nothing wrong with allowing emotion to stew up and to help guide, your decisions. But what the book is saying is that the cleaner goes straight from thought down to gut and then end execution, right? And that's going from great to unstoppable. Now, and that's without thinking, that's without hesitation, period. That's what millionaires do. That's not just $1 million millionaires. That's spiritual millionaires. That's, everything millionaire. There's no thinking. You just know. You just do it, right? And I mean, I every day practice on how I can get better at doing that, right? So I'm not contemplating. From as simple as going to the restaurant with a friend or a significant other, right? Oh, which restaurant do you want to go to? How many people out there are like, well, I don't know. Or you guys are sitting there looking at the menu and you're trying to determine. Your significant other is like, oh, let's share. And you're like, no, I'm really hungry, but I don't know what to eat. Should we order the same thing or should we order 2 separate plates and share half and half, right? So, so, even down to that, like nitty gritty is like, yeah, that's fun, right? Fun, but nah, let's just make a decision. Let's just execute. So like, it's like instinct, like there's no thought that's put into it. It's like, well, that looks good. I want that. What do you want? That looks good. I want that, right? Sounds kind of boring. Playing tit for tat's a little fun sometimes, but not when I'm hungry. But that's the ultimate difference. Okay, we said that. So that's the difference between a cleaner. A cleaner allows the thought to go to gut. A closer, which is still an awesome thing, allows for thought to go to emotion to gut. So when you're great, you trust your instincts. When you're unstoppable, your instincts trust you. So that's a really big, hope these words are clearing the space here. When you're great, you trust your instincts. I trust my instincts, right? When you're unstoppable, your instincts trust you. So I like that spin because today, if I go look at my account and I say, okay, there's not $1 million there. I have one of two things that I can do. I can either A, say that's my reality, or I can say B, that's not my reality, and my senses are not going to define my experience in this very moment onward. Okay. And so some people are like, oh, well, that's not realistic. Again, that's okay. It's not for everyone. But when you know that you are great and you are the best at what you do, period, and you get up and you make that honest effort and you give it your 100% every day and you grind and you work hard and you reflect and you build yourself, reality will catch up with you. I'm telling you that from experience. So everything that you think, so long as you execute and you exercise on opportunities, you fail, you succeed. There are no failures. Everything's a success. You learn, you overcome challenges, you run into challenges, you run through challenges. Then you are going to become unstoppable. And so that's when your instincts start to trust you because you're in control of your car. You're driving the car. You're dictating which direction this is going to go, obviously with the help of the universe and with God, right? But he's given us that power to say, okay, this is what I want to achieve. Now it's up to you to say, oh, but what if this happens? Oh, what if this? No. There is nothing else that's going to happen that I'm going to pay attention to. I'm going to put my blinders on and I'm just going to focus on the goal and I'm going to execute to get to it. And I'm going to bust through anything that comes in my way. When you're great, you trust your instincts. When you're unstoppable, your instincts trust you. And that's just taking total responsibility for what's happening in your life and what your reality is. Instinct is what tells you how to finish the fight. When you're listening to a mess of external directions, well, here you go. This is perfect. You're going to end up trying a million little things without complete confidence that any of them will work. But when you're trusting yourself, you have the focus and efficiency to pinpoint the one big move that will do the job. Huge, huge. And why I say that is because when I originally got into real estate industry, before I got into the real estate industry, let's just use this as an example. I thought to myself, what are the 5 industries, or what are one of many industries, I'm sure, right? But the 5 main ones that have been established and that people have, were able to have the personal aspect or variables, working with people, solving problems. For me personally, it was like finance. Like I love finance. I love numbers, right? Reading, history, like law, contracts, all that stuff. I like that. That's me. And then in terms of income, how wide or what the cap is on income. So if I in any other space or capacity, which I'm very well actually might start to get into, is to get my 6 and 63s license and 7 series, which is advisor status. So if I get advisor, right, if I go get my 6 and 63 and 7 series certifications, I'll be a certified like a financial planner, an advisor, which would be a perfect thing to couple with real estate, because now not only do I help you, I'm already helping people build their real estate portfolio, let's say, for example, right? But now I can actually advise them rather than only just consult them. I can advise them with all of their investment needs and be a one-stop shop, right? Not a bad idea. So the whole point here is I chose real estate for multiple reasons. And I was recently self-employed at, at my own technology company with my business partner and brother. And long story short, when I went through that system and I went through that process and I realized what my true greatness was, that's when I really broke out. And I was like, wait, I can do like, there's nothing, I will never fail, essentially. I will never fail. And that's fact. That's what I said to myself. And then I was like, okay, well, how do you scale and how do you find these different things in different industries? And so that's how I was ignited. And that's how I found this journey, along with a number of other things. So my point here is you have to trust yourself and you have to have focus and efficiency to pinpoint that one big move. It took me 4 years or 3 years, 3.5 years to get to where I am today. Okay. That's constant. I'm talking every day. Like there are, we took one vacation in the 4 years, I would say, out of country. And, but like we've been working hard at it, And so at the end of every year, and this is just a gentle reminder before we tune off here, at the end of every year, at the end of every day, we're reflecting on our day. Okay. That's what the journal is good for. I'm just going to try to help tie this in any way that I can to everything else. The journaling is good to reflect every single day, because if you did something that was stinky and that you didn't like about yourself, or was something that you're not, and you did it and you feel bad about it, write it in your journal. Get it out of your head. You're not a bad person. You're a good person, and I have no judgment. I don't pass judgment. I'm not God. So that's how I live my life, right? That's how I ambitiously live my life. And and so, at the end of each year, you have to have that honest conversation, and not in the sense of a New Year's resolution, or even after every 6 months or after every quarter, you say, look, man, I set out to do this. Did I do it? David, did I do it? No, you didn't. So why didn't you do it? Where are your thoughts at? What does your activity look like? How high is your execution ratio? What about the journey did you not get, or do you have to change or improve? And it's that type of awareness, and that's us just talking about it, just like this, that takes us from being great to unstoppable. And to finish out, believe what you know about yourself. When I decided to get my degree in kinesiology, everyone said, oh, you're going to be a gym teacher? No, I'm going to train pro athletes. You can manage a health club? No, I'm going to train pro athletes. There is zero chance you'll get anywhere if you allow yourself to become paralyzed by soft excuses and countless reasons why you'll never get to where you want to be. There's 10,000 reasons, 10,000 legitimate reasons why we don't do the things that we say we're going to do. Trust your gut. Navigate the hard road to get there. That's what we're doing together. The satisfaction and sense of achievement will blow your mind when you finally arrive. Knowing you've arrived on your own with only your instincts to guide you. Stop thinking. Stop waiting. You already know what to do. But instinct is only half the formula. And you can't be relentless competitor without a trip to the dark side. And that's where we're going next. So together we build as community. Together we build philosophy as community. At our session on Saturday at the Corner Bakery at the event, it's a perfect time to check in. It's a perfect time to check in, to talk about the tone, talk about the message, talk about what we've learned, talk about the successes we've had individually since the last time that we met, right? Areas that we may be challenged in, perspective on certain areas, whatever it may be. The group that comes together, the group that I saw on the first day, and they have a lot to offer. Like there's ample amount of support, between all of us. And there was I think 9 of us there, 8 of us there. So much support, so much perspective. It's crazy. So my whole point here is, yes, instinctively we have to guide ourselves. We take our messages in the morning and we move on. And when we move on throughout the day, we have to then trust our instincts and continue to make decisions on our own. And so at the end of the day, yes, it is truly up to you. And yes, it is truly who you want to be plugged in with. And so we'll leave it at that today. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for day 178. We're 2 days away from 6 months, and I'm proud of it. And I'm happy. I'm very happy. A 6-month journey, and it has been a roller coaster. But it has been absolutely, I don't know what I would do without it, personally, for me. And it's been some of the, probably maybe the 5 hardest months I've ever experienced in terms of growth and growing pains and just, it's just been, I'm speechless. And like he said, it'll blow your mind. It blows your mind. It blows your mind when you trust yourself and you take your guidance and it just blows your mind what you're capable and what you can create, floating fire embers in my hands right now. It's like we are all powerful. And so thank you, everybody who's joining me today on the messenger board. Thank you for sending your love and support, always waking up with me every morning and just joining me on this journey. I appreciate it so much. Can't tell you how much cadence of accountability that provides for me. Thank you. To everybody out there, I hope you have the best day of your life today, because today will be that day. And I will see you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Bless.